What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Underdog Wealth Academy. I'm really excited about our guests today. I have two guests. This is the second time we've done this where there's two people I'm interviewing. So it's kind of fun to have three of us here chatting together. But today I have Kaysen and Claire Larsen. Been friends for a while now. I'm actually an investor in their business. They are a couple that is running a business together, which is a rare and really cool thing and story. And so I'm really excited to chat with you guys and ask questions about your business and just how you're juggling it all and making it all work.
We're excited to be here.
Yeah,
Thanks, Barf.
it's really fun.
Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah. You guys know Tom well. We were just talking about that. That's how we got connected, is Tom Wilkinson. I think Tom was like the second or third episode. Tom works in venture capital, and he's actually the one that introduced me to you guys, and I ended up investing in your guys' company. Lots of pivots along the way. You guys are so dang resilient and running a pretty amazing and impressive business now. So yeah, I think highly of you guys and excited to chat. So tell me, you guys live here local. You're Utah County in Vineyard. You were just saying?
Yep, Vineyard.
Cool. Mm-hmm. And then you have a little little girl.
Yeah, little boy, 2 years old.
Cool. That's awesome. So not just a married couple running a business, but also
throwing kids into it.
The parents thing. So that's amazing. What a grind. That's so cool. Well, I always admire people that choose the word and in life and not or. And I think that there's a lot of that going on in your guys' world. So maybe tell me, let's start with that, and we'll back up and talk about your upbringing, but just tell me about that kind of choosing to live a life of abundance, being parents, being married, running a business, doing all of it. Maybe let's just start with that. I'd love any thoughts on that.
Well, what was the book you read, Claire? Because when we were even thinking about having kids, she came to me one day and she's like, I just read this thing and it's so true. When we have our first child and any child after that, they're going to be a barnacle on our ship. They're not going to be an anchor dragging us down. So wherever we go, he or she comes with us.
Yeah.
Because at this time we didn't know if we were going to have a boy or girl, if we were going to have kids that early.
Yeah, we knew we wanted kids, but we were in the thick of it. It was barely starting out. This is pre-pivot to what we're even doing now. So It's just a lot of trying new things.
Not making hardly any money.
Not making money, and then being stressed, and all sorts of things were going down. And we said, let's go for it. The book was called, if anyone wants to read it, Bringing Up Bebe. Basically, it's a French book about an American journalist goes to France. She ends up meeting someone there and having a baby, but she notices that French kids are so well behaved, and she just kind of writes about how they upbring their children, different baby tips, etc. But that was the thing that stuck out. It's they go with you. I think a lot of people let it totally, tear their world apart, upside down, which makes sense. There's a lot of other circumstances that I think would warrant that. If we had triplets, that would be totally different situation. But for us, it was he's just there. He would be laying on his little play toy with things in the air, and we'd just be working, and one of us would be holding him, the other would be on a meeting, and it works.
That's cool. Yeah.
And that's what we said too, was it doesn't matter. We decide how this goes.
Yeah.
We can bring him into the office. We can have a baby room. We don't need to worry about this. We get to decide this. And that was kind of our whole reason of even starting what we started, was we just never wanted to be tied down to anybody. We wanted to make our own decisions, to be able to control our own lives. And this was part of it.
I view it as controlled chaos. Some days probably uncontrolled chaos, but I think that my philosophy around this whole thing is because we're the same. I'm in the thick of it, working. I work a lot. We have 2 kids. My wife kind of has her own little business now. So there's a lot of the word and not or with us too. And I just think that we're all at some point later in life going to look back, and I don't think you'll ever regret bringing in new things, because as you age, all those things just become blessings. And the earlier you start in parenthood or in running a business, time compounds, and just as you have time behind your back, it helps. And so I think the people that, not just with kids, but in a lot of areas in life, start early. And I think it's cool that you guys are making it work as parents and being married and stuff. So anyway, this will be fun to talk through the journey and how you're making it all happen together. I want to hear about your guys's kind of upbringing. And did you guys both go to BYU?
Yep, we did. Yep.
Okay. Where did you guys meet?
At BYU. Well,
Well, no.
Let's hear it. Let's get into it.
we went to high school together, actually.
Okay.
We both grew up in Davis County. I played basketball and soccer at Viewmont High, and she was a gymnast growing up, level 10 gymnast, and then did cheer in high school.
Cool.
So we saw each other always,
Uh-huh.
but never once spoke.
Okay.
I went to prom with his friend. I always thought he was
Yeah,
cute.
At his school?
Yeah. Well, we went to the
Oh,
same
you went to the
school.
same high-
same high school.
Got it.
Yeah.
But Viewmont's a big school, huh?
I mean, bigger for sure. I knew who he was, just kind of different friend groups. I always thought he was cute. I left my number in his yearbook, never called. So, you know.
No, you did not leave your number.
Oh, you're right. I did.
She said, call me.
Oh,
Or like wrote out something and call me, and then didn't leave her.
Classic.
I'm like,
You gotta.
Come on.
How's that
Instagram
work?
existed. We're
Yeah.
that old. Like,
Come on.
figure it out.
Come on, bro. Be resourceful.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you can't make it that easy.
It was a test to see if you're resourceful.
Yeah.
You didn't,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah, you didn't pass
Pass
the test. So, grew up in northern Utah,
Mhm.
BYU. Did you guys do missions, or like what did you do in between high school and
Yep.
Yeah?
Missions,
Yeah,
both
you
of
go-
us. Yeah. Mexico, Culiacan. If you've been to Cabo,
Way
that's
cool.
where I was.
Yeah, sweet.
And I served in Mexico City.
Okay, dang. So same high school and both served in Mexico.
Yep, both served in Mexico, same high school,
Same
and
college.
same college.
That's
and
cool.
I hadn't even thought about it that way. We've done all the same things pretty much.
Yeah,
our
we've
whole
kind of been on the same path our whole lives,
Yeah.
but never
And now the
really
same
overlapped.
business. You guys,
Yeah.
you guys
No,
can't get away
seriously.
from
No,
each
we
other.
really can't.
I love it.
And then how we met in college is even crazier.
Yeah, let's hear it.
My buddies and I play basketball a ton.
At
One
the
of my
RB?
buddies. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Love the RB.
Yeah,
The
the
RB,
RB's the
oh,
best.
man.
Great memes.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Anyway, one of my buddies was hanging out with one of her friends, and I just kind of one day was like, we play basketball every week, and I never missed a day. Like, basketball
Yeah.
literally was my life.
Love it.
And still kind of is.
Yeah.
But I called my buddy, and I'm like, should I come play ball tonight, or should I go hang out with this group of girls that my friend had been hanging out with, and I hadn't gone hung out with them?
Uh-huh.
And he's just like, well, are they cute? I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, then go hang out with the girls. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I love it.
And so I went over and hung out with them, and Claire was there. And then it just so happened this was right when like beginnings of COVID happened.
Uh-huh.
I had just gotten back from a ski trip in Colorado. Turns out I had COVID. I'd
Dang.
given it to all of them, and then I ended up being-
Unbeknownst to him.
unbeknownst
of
to
course.
me. And then a week later, I find out I'm case number 1 at BYU.
No way.
Yeah, so I like got an
Wow.
email from the president like saying, "Are you okay? What's going on?"
Yeah.
And then because of that, I had to tell Claire.
You were the
about-
Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, literally, I was the
BYU.
Rudy Gobert of BYU.
Well, I was freaking out because I found out, because he's like, yeah, we went on a ski trip. This person and this person was there. The other person that he mentioned gets on social media and is like, I have COVID. And it was like,
Yeah.
breaking the internet at that point. We're like, oh my gosh. So I like go and find his Instagram and DM him. I'm like, hey, you were with this guy on this ski trip. He says he has COVID. Like, what do I do? He's like, hey, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. And we just never stopped talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you met because, well, you hung out, and then the COVID thing brought you
COVID
together.
thing brought us
You-
together, and
you
then we
gave her
literally-
COVID.
Yeah, I gave it
Yeah.
to her, and then we were confined to our basements for 2 weeks because still
Parents'
nobody knew what was
basements.
going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we like DM'd each other every day, all day, and then we
FaceTimed.
FaceTime at
Mhm.
night, all night, and then yeah,
That's cool.
we just never stopped talking after
Yeah.
that.
That's so cool. That's awesome. What'd you guys study at BYU?
I studied microbiology.
Okay.
I was planning on going to med school.
Okay.
She was the smart one.
No, I studied marketing.
Yeah, I did.
So-
I did too.
Did you really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. What year did you graduate?
2022.
Okay. Yeah, I was like 6 years before you.
No, it's a good major. They're probably some of the same professors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billeter and
Billeter, yep.
Elder. Or wait. Yeah.
Yeah. Elder, right?
Yeah. He was
Yes.
like an
Advertising. Yeah. Him and then Bond.
Bond. Yeah. I
Senior,
had Bond. Yeah.
Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're great.
Cool. Yeah. They're
So
all
cool.
still there.
Yeah, they're still.
Okay. And I remember that actually. Like, so
Mhm.
you were studying, you were going to go
Microbiology.
pre-med.
Yep.
And then Corbin was influential in your life, kind of a similar mentor there, right?
Yeah.
Did
so
you take his class and then
yeah,
tell us about like the transition into the whole entrepreneurship,
yeah.
start a business.
One semester I needed to fill 3 credits.
Okay.
And my buddy told me about an entrepreneurship class. So
Okay.
and he said it was an easy A. So I just put it in there.
Okay.
Like I was super sold on medical school.
Got
and
it.
I have been my whole life.
Okay.
But then I took his class and literally just fell in love with it. But I always would sit in the back and just be like, that can't be me. Like that's looking at all the people present, their cool companies and
Yeah.
everything. I'm like, that can't be me. And then I always would just kind of have these random ideas and thought about doing certain things. I even took a few ideas to Corbin. Most of them got shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And then it wasn't until Claire and I actually got married that our initial idea of Errand started, because Claire sat me down one day. I would always I was in turmoil over should I go to med school or should I try to do something business? Because for some reason I just had this feeling deep inside you need to just try business, but I didn't even know what that meant.
Yeah.
I'd never even thought.
What's a business?
Sure.
What is business?
Right. Yeah.
What kind of feeling is that?
You were so one track minded. I'm gonna be in school for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go medicine.
Studying OChem.
Yeah, I was in the heat of organic chemistry,
Right.
yet I have this thought, do business. I'm like, what's business?
Interesting. Yeah. Huh, that's so cool. I mean, some people, man, it's they just you can't avoid it. It's this calling to go be in this business world and go create and kind of be the captain of your own ship, Yep. I think I failed to mention this, but the name of their business now is called Vamo.
Yep.
And maybe just in a sentence or two, explain what you guys do. Errand was what it was called at one point. It even had a name before that at one point. So the name has changed. There's been some rebranding. Yeah, but your business is in a really great spot. I just got an email report recently that of a revenue number that I'm excited about.
As we are too.
Yeah. Really lots of progress. But yeah, explain what the business is now, and maybe just talk through, keep rocking with the story of starting and maybe some of the pivots along the way. Just tell that story.
Yeah. Do you want to tell them?
Sure. Yeah. So Vamo, we are a logistics and delivery provider for cold chain businesses.
Okay.
So when I say cold chain, I mean anything that needs to stay fresh in transit. A lot of these businesses, their shipping or delivery is so expensive because they're needing to package with ice packs, insulated packaging, in some case dry ice, and it can more than double their shipping costs.
Wow.
So we come in and we have a software component for routing, and as well as a full fleet of drivers to actually complete the deliveries.
Mm-hmm.
And we adhere to very strict windows of delivery, as well as, allowing for even a round trip reverse logistics system.
Cool.
That can help, in a nutshell, these companies cut their delivery costs by in half.
Wow.
And it takes them from a 1 to 3 day shipping to a same day shipping.
Same day shipping.
Nice.
So it's an Amazon Prime structure that these companies get when they use our system.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That is cool.
But it started as Errand, which is when we were sitting in our apartment, Claire sat me down and she said, "Hey, you shouldn't go to medical school."
Okay.
Well, you got to go even further back than that.
Like what?
You took an entrepreneurship class for an easy credit.
Well, I was saying that.
While you were?
Yeah. So Corbin's, that's Corbin's class.
And then what did you do after that?
I don't know. What did I do?
You went to your mom and you said,
"Oh, yeah, that's right."
Go for it.
Yeah, I went to my mom and said, "Hey, do you have any pains in your life?" And she's like, "Yeah, I hate driving kids places." So I'm like, "Okay, cool. Let's start a kid Uber company."
I remember this.
And that was my first idea that didn't go anywhere, but it was what sparked my just creativity of thinking through what we could do.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until Claire and I got married that Claire sat me down. She's like, "Hey, I don't think the kid Uber thing will work, but I think we're onto something. What else can we do?"
Love it.
Don't go to med school. We can figure something out. And I attribute all of it to her because
so cool.
if it wasn't for her, I would have because I was very risk averse.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to take the track that I know guarantees me something.
Yeah.
But my mindset switched completely. And
how can we save parents time? That's your goal, right? With this kid Uber, what else can we do? Let's do everything else to fill in the blanks. Let's do the pharmacy pickups, the returns, taking your stuff to the Goodwill or the DI.
Yep.
And that's where Errand was born.
Yeah. So Errand was a direct to, or it was you were targeting consumers, and it was kind of like a DoorDash, but for errands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which was an awesome idea, and that's when I invested. I thought it was a really cool idea. That driver economy thing can be really complicated, and I think at some point,
yes,
we were just talking about this before we jumped on, but you discovered, hey, there's actually a much more predictable customer out there, or problem that we could solve that probably allows for a lot more scale and less complexity. I would imagine that Errand, the routing on that was just absolutely hard
Yeah.
to handle, right?
Well, totally. I mean, acquiring a customer. I mean, you sold door to door, right?
Yep.
For a while. I mean,
Uh-huh.
talking with customers, it's their money, right, that they're dealing with, and it's a
Right.
lot harder from an customer
Yeah.
acquisition perspective to convince an individual consumer, even if it's just spending $7 to $10 on an errand.
Sure.
The customer acquisition costs to retain that customer.
Yeah.
It's consistent marketing. It's a nightmare. It's a
Tricky.
lot of capital going into it.
Yep.
A lot of different messaging. We built both a driver app and a customer app.
Mhm.
And it was, really, a lot of people liked the idea, but getting people to come and then return, it's a constant cycle and a constant effort.
Yeah, that makes tons of sense. No, when I heard about that pivot, I was like, dude, that actually is amazing because it's a much stickier customer. You're not begging for them to
come back
all the time.
Yeah.
Like you probably would be with a consumer. And it did feel like on the Errand business, you did have to kind of like tell this story and kind of stretch it sometimes. Like, here's all the use cases. Anytime you have to do a lot of that, like sell, sometimes you're reaching a little bit. And it's a nice to have, not like absolutely necessary.
Yep,
Exactly.
But with this, perishable goods, they're literally going to expire. There's a problem you absolutely have to have as a business. And also like a business, it's probably so much easier for them to go like justify it because it's tied to ROI, right?
Yep.
Like this is business that they're going to go spend money with you, but then they get a return on that money customer facing.
Exactly.
Is that kind of the line of thinking that has you guys excited?
Well, and the majority of the businesses that use us, we're actually solving a true pain because they're having to figure out how to do delivery anyways. We've just came and innovated that whole process for them in this industry of cold chain.
Cool.
So now it's so easy to sell to them.
Yeah.
And not saying sales is easy.
Yeah.
Because there's no part about sales that is truthfully easy. But when you get on a call and the first thing they say is like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Like this is real. Like, is this actually real? Yes. Then
Yep. I mean, the way I think of it, and obviously like I just think the sky's the limit, right? Like I think of like billion-dollar companies, and it's because they have a product or an offering that's like insane, And there's companies that can go get to 5 million, 10 million through sell. But like I think the offering now that you guys have is like just really cool, and it's fun to it's fun to be selling something that just solves a really nice problem for a customer, that kind of sells itself.
Yep.
Right.
Totally. Well, you just have to listen to your customer. We obviously didn't hit the nail on the head the first time. Even this niche that we're going after now in post pivot, we weren't really necessarily trying to do this. It was a meal kit company here locally, saw we had a fleet of drivers, and they contacted us and said, hey, we're having major delivery issues. Can we just access your fleet of drivers?
Cool.
Said, sure. They're like, oh, we have, 100 deliveries a week. We're like, 100 jobs a week for one client? Like, that's huge for us. So we were kind of like simultaneously building this B2C side, right, with the Errand stuff, but supplementing it with this B2B side that was kind of growing pretty quickly. That was the first time we stumbled upon this niche of first direct to consumer perishables and then into cold chain in general. And within just a few months of that, it became evident that we needed to make that full pivot. So they told us what needed to happen.
Well, and that's that video that you were referencing with Tom that we were talking about is like the thing a lot of times, like when you go invest in someone or a business, like very often the first idea is not gonna be the thing. Because like it's just kind of how things work. You have to adapt and be willing to listen to your customer, and very rarely do you just throw a dart at the map and it's like, we nailed it. The spot's perfect, but it takes a unique type of founder or founders in this case to like be willing to roll with the punches, take a small L, but be able to like get back up and be honest with themselves about like what the pathway is to go win.
And go fast.
So I think that says a lot about you guys. So vision going forward then, now that it does feel like you found a product fit, maybe just speak to the next couple years and just kind of what the vision is going forward.
What's been cool is we obviously started with smaller scale clients that are using our platform over the past year, and it's grown significantly for us. But now we're seeing very large enterprise clients that are coming and seeking out our services.
Cool.
That are taking the number you saw in the email that are going to double and triple that in the next couple of months. Which is huge for us.
So cool.
So that's what we look at now is like, holy cow, there's all these really big companies that are seeing the value that we bring. that we are already in talks
Those are
with.
sweet deals for you too, because you're managing one account that is worth X amount of revenue. It's just like massive leverage instead of just like base hit.
Yep.
You could have 15 customers and have an insanely valuable company.
Exactly.
If you're, saying no to the right clients and yes to the right ones,
for sure. And what we found is a lot of the times smaller clients are actually quite a bit more difficult to work with. So from a size perspective, not in every case, but
sure,
it's like 20% of the revenue actually causes 80% of the work type of thing. So it's fun to see the growth and the possibilities, and kind of building that traction, because if it weren't for SMBs, we wouldn't have the traction and the kind of proof of concept to be able to go after a big client. So it's just all in due time.
But that's what our next 5 years are. Like Claire said earlier, we're in the middle of another fundraise, which has gone significantly better than any other experience, just because we're making money, we have a proof of concept, and we have a clear roadmap of where this is going, and we know like, hey, in 5 years there is the real possibility for this thing to get acquired now. Whereas before it was just kind of a dream in there. Like we knew it would always happen, but convincing people of what we knew to be true.
People can see on the investor side, customers, will tell you on their side. And it's just like, you got to find it's nail it, then scale it. Right. And that's the book we all read back in the day with Corbin.
Such a good one.
But you got to find the right, fit, and then you can go scale. And I'm excited to see you guys go do that. I am curious, like, what are your individual strengths and how are you kind of optimizing for those within your business? Because I know you guys you're married, but you both have, according to Tom, you both have kind of unique strengths, and it's cool. Like your business is benefiting from both of them. So how are you handling that as a married couple, and how are you having those conversations? Like, hey, babe, I think I'm better at this. Like, get out of the way.
For sure.
Like, what does that look like?
I would say Kaysen, first and foremost. he's amazing at sales. Like, I think he could really sell anything.
I could see that.
Not because he's like, like a schlickster, like, telling you things that aren't true, but he's just very, very personable, and he's, good at relaying exactly what the problem is, hearing what your needs are, and then adapting the pitch according to what that is. And then it doesn't stop there. Like, he will do anything to make the experience amazing. Like, he was on the phone with drivers for a company that was starting, making sure that they were ready to go. And in all reality, it's like, we still do quite a bit of the nitty gritty, but that, it's not really his job at this point, but he will do whatever it takes so that these companies are having an amazing experience. We're doing everything. He's doing everything from deal sourcing to the demo or outreach, demo, close, retention. That's just startup life, but he's so good at that, very personable, and he is just relentless. Will just work so hard. He's like the type that gets up at 5 a.m. whereas cool. I need 8 hours of sleep. Yeah. Like, that's just just the full on grind. Like, never stops. Cool. Relentless. Yeah. He says he's risk averse, but
not anymore.
Not anymore.
Before we were married, I was very risk averse. But then when we got married, I changed everything.
He'll try anything. He'll do anything, and really, the clients that we have on, it's all him.
That's really cool. Why is that? Like, why is that? What's happened with that? And then I want to get into your strengths, because I know you have a lot of them. But I do. Dude, you're awesome and way impressive. So, but I want to hear about, like, why that shift, do you think?
Well, I went from a mindset of, if I take this path, like medical school, I have a guaranteed, like, I know exactly what I'll be making, what I'm going to be doing, etc. Then I just had this switch to, I want to have no cap in my life. The cap is what I decide it is. Mm-hmm. And that's when I say I attribute everything to Claire, because I don't really know what the switch was, but it was truthfully marrying her. Like, it just ignited something in me that made me realize, like, holy cow, there's so much more potential in me, in her, in our family, and what we can create for our family and for generations. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. And then I just wanted to learn more. So, like, aside from even that, I started learning about crypto, stock market, all these things that are risky, quote unquote. Yep. And started getting involved in those things just because, and now I don't see any risk in those. Yeah. It feels calculated, and I don't know, it's kind of a weird switch, but truthfully it was just marrying her. Yeah. Like, well, dude, shout out the good women in the world. Like, literally. Marry the right girl that is a big thinker, that sees a lot in you. And I'm not a big, like,
personality test guy or whatever, because I just feel like people, I mean, literally a lot of us are like one person away, the right person away from like our life changing. Like I believe that big time.
Yeah.
And that's a really cool story. And I believe that. Like I believe people can have shifts and then go be someone that they haven't been over the last 5, 10, 15 years. Like that happens all the time. I see it all the time. So that's really cool.
Yep.
Let's hear about Claire and kind of strengths, and because I know I mean, again, I a lot of this we don't talk a ton, like, and I hear a lot of how your business is doing through Tom, but like Tom says you're a gangster, so
she is.
Let's hear.
She is the building blocks of this business, like literally everything. And just like kind of a backstory, technically, I mean, we're a startup, but technically I had the title of CEO the whole time.
Yeah.
But then I went to Claire at the beginning of the year and I said, Claire, like, this is your position. Like, you are the visionary. You are the calm and collected builder that knows how to keep a team together, knows how to make people work for something, and can take a vision from just a dream to a reality. And you're that person. So like, you need to take this over.
Cool.
Let me take over my realm of sales. That's where I feel comfortable, and you do this. And since we made that switch, we literally doubled our company.
That's awesome.
Everything flows when she's in charge, and she's very calm and collected. She never gets anxious over anything. Like, she just knows how to handle situations, which reflects on the team.
So your big picture, like visionary, solving problems,
great,
which is what a CEO does. Like,
yep.
Yeah. And you're driving revenue.
Yep.
Kind of front lines, dealing with execution, people focused.
Yep. And like,
he kills it.
One of her best qualities is like, this can be taken negatively, but she's a people pleaser, but in like the best way possible. Like, she knows how to make everybody feel so loved and seen, that they work harder, that even the businesses she interacts with, like, retain way better. Yeah. And she's amazing at sales too. Like, before we even started this, she did sales at multiple companies and killed it. Yeah. So she's just all around.
Claire's the quarterback.
Yeah, literally. No,
give her the ball.
Truthfully.
No.
And I don't even like, I don't say this so that everybody thinks I just am hyping up my wife so she's happy with me. That's not it. Like, this is true.
Yeah. Smart man.
True.
No, but I believe that. I really do. I mean, success leaves clues, and like whatever pivot you've made, I mean, both with the new customer you're serving, but then also whatever's been done internally, like things are heading in a really cool direction. They're working. So yeah, that's really cool.
Thanks.
Well, yeah, let's finish with just like kind of tying it all together. Like, I'd love to just hear again, like, it's unique that you guys are running a business together, married, and taking on all that stuff.
Yeah.
What rituals, habits, best practices can you share with listeners? Because a lot of listeners aren't going to be in a situation where they're running a business literally like in-house with their spouse or whatever. If you can do it, they can do it in whatever setup they have. Like a lot of my listeners, like, they might be doing summer sales still where they're married and their spouse is there with them. But I just think a lot of the lessons that you go teach, they'll be able to apply to their situation. Sure. So would love to just hear about how you guys are piecing it all together, how you're making it happen, how you're living the and life, not the or life.
For sure. I think, I mean, whether you're working with your spouse, obviously this is a more unique situation, or whether you are, doing your own thing and your wife is taking care of the kids, or, working another job, or whatever it is that you're doing. I think it's just so important to try to separate the two a little bit. It's so easy for us, especially, to take work home. Yeah. And we have to work on this consistently. We literally had like a conversation about this the other day. Like, okay, we work 24/7, especially because, even at night when we're watching our show and winding down.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, literally, like, if we don't turn our brain, wanted to never turn it off, you could get away with just never turning it off.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's intentional for sure. And I think the same thing applies to someone that's starting their own business, or whatever it is, even outside of the home. It's so easy to bring all of that back. Just like, you need an outlet for yourself. And this is another thing. Like I told you, he's a workhorse. That's what I have to convince him of. Like, hey, it's okay. Yeah. It's okay to relax. Are we working enough? I'm like, I don't remember the last time I didn't work, but I mean, yes. Short answer. So it's just, I think, just that separation. But I mean, I don't know. I I mean, at least for us, I was actually talking to someone about it this morning, and he was like, because, from an investor standpoint, some investors are like, oh, cool, we've seen husband and wife, duos, and it's great. And some are like, I need to see documentation of what happens if he cheats, what happens if you cheat, like what happens with the business, like, which is totally understandable.
Sure, yeah.
But the person I was talking to today, he was like, actually, Ben Garrison, do you know him? He works with Tom.
Is he a St. George guy? No, I'm thinking of different.
I don't know.
I'm thinking.
Anyway, I think he lives here now. Anyway, he's part of All Adventures with Tom.
Got it.
And he was like, well, I think this is like the biggest indicator of your success because, it's not like you're doing this and then Kayson's a dentist.
Yeah.
Like you guys are all in.
Yeah.
Like this is everything. Like
Yeah.
obviously, we have experience. We could go get jobs if for some reason this were to fail. But, like this is what you're doing, and you both are just 100% all in on it, and that should be.
Yeah, but there's some power with that, right? Like in my world, there's a lot of like one spouse is on one page and another one is like, they're wanting to chase something different down, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes that's priorities, but other times it's just like they literally don't see it the same as that person because that's the arena that they're playing in. And to your point, you're literally playing in the same arena. There's a lot of power in it. Yeah. Which I think is cool and unique.
And it started from the beginning when we were dating. Like we knew what each other wanted exactly. Like I knew this was a life she wanted to live, and she knew this was a life I wanted to live. So we knew from day one, like, okay, this will work if we decide to go this path together. And I think it's just the most important thing is to always remember, like, at the end of the day, the business isn't everything. Like, it is our family. Like, I wake up in the morning and she's my wife.
Yep.
Like, she's not my CEO.
Right.
Like, she's my wife first and foremost.
Right.
And that's the hardest thing to do, but that's what you need to do is every morning when you wake up, you remember, like, it's my wife. Like, I love her for this, this, and this. It's not because of business.
Very cool.
And it just makes everything work better when that is what you're going off of.
Yeah.
When that's the first thing you think of.
There's going to be, there's a lot of roles that you both individually have and that you have together, and clear lines is super important because like, the family component, the faith component, some of that stuff, like those roles have to be like, that's the foundation. This other stuff stacks on it. Like the role of a job is to make the other stuff go, but we have to, it's a game of sequences, and we have to remember the husband and the wife role and the dad role. And like that stuff comes before the other stuff. And usually that's easier to, it's easy to go kind of like separate those out. But when you're both, she's also the CEO, like that could get muddied. So no, I think that's cool. And I would imagine there's days where you don't do it as well as you want to.
Oh, it's not easy.
I mean,
it's definitely not easy.
We're still, like I said, like full transparency. We go through it all the time. Like we have days or weeks and I'm like, dude, I'm way out of balance. I need to go. I think of it in terms of like, lights. Like there's dark light, dim light, and then like a bright light. And there's seasons of life where my finances might need to burn a little bit brighter, and then other seasons where like I need to go a little bit more dim.
Yeah.
And we're all working on it. But I think you guys are so dang amazing for trying, and I think your marriage will be actually so dang cool as you guys keep building this thing, because you're just having to intentionally lock in and choose those roles and prioritize the important stuff. And so I admire it a ton and think you guys are building something super cool.
Thanks.
Any other advice you'd leave with, I mean, again, a lot of the listeners are 18 to 25-year-old kids. Just any other advice, whether just like things that you've learned from running your business, or just other things that you think could be valuable for them in their stage of life?
I think, kind of touching on the same thing with how we're married and working together as well. Like we know exactly why we're doing this.
Yeah.
Like our whys are aligned, and that means at the end of the day, like nothing affects us because we know why we're doing it. And I think that is the most important thing, is you need to know why you're doing anything in life. If you don't know why, then you need to step back and come up with it, or else you're not going to get to your full potential.
Yeah.
And then my last piece of advice would be, Claire and I, like our mantra always has been like, not, will this work? If it will work. It's always, how can we make this work?
Yeah.
So it's like when we wanted to have a kid, it's like, oh, should we? Because we have a business. No, how can we make it work?
Yeah.
It's always trying to figure out how we can, not, like you said, if and.
Yeah.
And if that's your mindset of how to make things work and you're just determined to make it work, then we're very powerful people. Our minds are powerful. Our will is powerful. And you can get it done.
Yeah, I tell people, so this is kind of becoming like us giving advice to people that are getting married or that are married, but like I think it's actually think it's really important. People that ask me like, what, I'm getting married, how do I approach the whole, like, we want to go do epic things but also have a healthy marriage thing. I think there's 3 questions that are amazing that a married couple should early and often ask themselves. What do we want in life? Like, what's the type of life we want to go build? What's that going to cost, and how are we going to pay that cost?
I love that.
And I think you guys, that's why you're winning, is like, you know what you want. You want to go build something epic and have kids. And it's like, what's that going to cost? Well, it's going to be difficult. Some nights we're going to be watching a show and be tempted to work, and we're going to have to say no. Or other nights, like, we might have to say yes because it's like just pressing and the business needs it.
Has to happen.
How are we going to pay that cost? Like, that's systems, processes, and and so anyway, I think those 3 questions, those will change over time. What you want will change, and as you get older and stuff. But I think to your why concept, I think that's just like a really important place to start.
Yeah, I agree.
Because some people, what they want may not be to go build a really epic big business, and the price tag may not be worth it. And so they're going to go choose something more like what you were going to do before Claire challenged you to pivot, right?
Which isn't a bad thing, but
not a bad thing. And honestly, it's our whole thing. What your guys' journey is not for everyone. In fact, I would say it's probably for the minority.
Yeah.
Because
that's actually what I was going to say. It's definitely not for everybody, but I mean, I think, if you're, like you said, it was a marriage advice podcast now, but as you find the person that you want to be with, like those 3 questions, I love that so much. We actually we watched The Office all the way through. For me, it was the first time. And then the last season, are you an Office fan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Watch on the airplane all the time.
Exactly. When Jim is starting, it was an athlete and he's gone a lot, and, Pam's having a really hard time, and then he ends up leaving. I was just like throwing pillows at the TV. I was like, what are you doing? You're so close. Like, you're working at this paper company. And there's nothing wrong with that. But like, in her head, like that was the vision that she had for herself. And she was okay with that. And she was happy.
Yeah.
But for him, he wanted a little bit more. I was happy at the end when she ended up, kind of coming around to the idea. But I think that's real. And it's okay not to want this. Like, this is definitely... I mean, it's not ideal. You're there on a Sunday, like we teach primary, and then one of us is like stepping out like on the phone, like, putting out fires left and right. It's like, it's definitely not.
That's the price tag.
It's a price tag.
And some days it's like, this sucks, but it's worth it because we want that thing.
We have a long-term.
We know what we want, and we want it bad. And that's just a cost that like we're willing to pay to go get that thing. Yeah. I think it's actually admirable if people are just like, that's not it for me. Like, that's not worth it. I actually think it's admirable to be like, we're going to choose a different path because we'd be so disconnected there. There would be this like thing that's out there that we're chasing, but that is not worth it. And I think that causes some pretty miserable people sometimes. Definitely. So you got to be willing to pay the price. I love that you guys are willing to pay the price and you're being resourceful and finding a way to make it happen. And it's cool to watch, and I'm cheering you on. And so
thanks for being with us from the beginning.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I remember. No, I mean, Tom put cool words to like how I thought of it. But I think like I've made probably 6 or 7 venture capital investments, and it's always just been like people that I think are admirable that like will do whatever it takes to
get it done.
Yeah. And that's how I saw you guys. I actually saw the Errand idea as really cool. I love this one way more because I'm a little older now, and like I just feel like I like sticky customers.
Yeah.
And like
and you can see the numbers.
Yeah,
this
and
one.
the numbers are
the number
and the revenue numbers way better with this model. So, but no, I just think that the idea of like the idea is not always going to be nailed. Investing in ideas is cute, but people is like the move. If you're gonna go invest in a business, make sure the people that are running that thing are willing to run through a brick wall. And like, if they're wrong, then they'll admit they're wrong, and then they'll get back up, and then they'll go chase down what they think is right, and they'll probably miss again. But it's just, it's you have to be willing to go run that race. And that is entrepreneurship. It's just the game.
Well said.
It's a crazy game.
Standing.
Yeah.
Not smartest.
I love your thought. Like, share that thought. Like, because you said that quote.
Yeah, I think I commented on your LinkedIn post to what Tom had said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just, I can't remember what the exact quote is. Someone put it a lot more eloquently than I will right now, but it's entrepreneurship is not a game of, you know, even best idea or smartest person in the room. It's really last man standing.
Yeah.
Like, if you can just have the grit and just the, what's the word? Resilience, thank you, to keep going, then you'll do it. And I see that here. I mean, and also it's like, you never forget who believed in you from the start. You know, I can think about you and Tom and Corbin. It's like, we were what, 22?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's really cool.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, I admire you guys, and we're cheering you on, and keep it up. So, cool. Well, that's it for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been a unique and really cool one, and I think lots of nuggets from today. So, we will catch you guys on the next episode. If you're trying to get into real estate investing, check out my real estate course. If you will DM me the phrase real estate, I will send you a code, and it will be free for you.